Hello, everyone. Welcome to my English podcast. Today, I will tell you a very funny and magical story. One day, I was in school. I was very tired because I woke up very early. I sat at my desk, closed my eyes, and slowly fell asleep. Suddenly, something amazing happened. I opened my eyes and I was in a very strange and magical place. The sky was purple with tiny yellow stars that looked like glitter. The clouds were soft and pink, and they moved slowly like cotton candy. The ground was soft, sparkly, and smelled sweet like sugar. There were trees made of candy. Some trees had lollipops as leaves, some had chocolate bars hanging, and some had gummy bears climbing like little animals. I could hear a soft sound like someone singing, but it was coming from the ground. I looked down and saw small glowing mushrooms dancing. I was very surprised and a little scared, but I wanted to explore. I started walking carefully. Small flying creatures with big round eyes and colorful feathers flew around me. They laughed and made funny sounds. Hee hee, hello, I said. Hello, who are you? One little creature answered, We are candy birds. Welcome to our world. I laughed and said, This place is amazing. I tried to talk to more creatures. One small pink creature jumped on my shoulder and said, Do you want to play a game? I nodded quickly. Then I saw a river of chocolate. It was shiny, flowing slowly, and smelled very sweet. I bent down to touch it, and suddenly a tiny green dragon appeared. It had sparkling scales and a small crown. The dragon said, No, this chocolate river is mine. I was scared for a moment, but I laughed and said, Okay, I will not take it. The dragon smiled and flew in circles around me. Then it gave me a small candy gift and flew away. I continued walking and found a castle made of colorful blocks. The doors were huge and bright pink. The walls had funny patterns like zigzags, circles, and smiley faces. I knocked on the door. Inside there were friendly creatures. They were small, round, and soft, with tiny arms and big eyes. They said, Hello, do you want to play with us? I said, Yes, I love games. We played jumping on soft clouds that bounced us high in the air. Sometimes I fell down and everyone laughed. I laughed too. Then a giant talking pencil appeared. It had a big smile, a tiny hat, and it waved at me. It said, Do you want to learn a new magic? I said, Yes, please. The pencil gave me a magic book. I opened the book and funny pictures jumped out. Cats with hats, dogs flying with umbrellas, dancing vegetables, and even a small elephant wearing sunglasses. I ran and tried to catch the pictures. Sometimes I slipped on the soft candy floor, but I got up and laughed. The creatures laughed too. One creature asked, Do you like our world? I said, Yes, it is very funny and amazing. Then the tiny dragon came back. It said, Do you want to ride on me? I climbed on its back. We flew around the castle, over the chocolate river and above the candy trees. I could see sparkling mountains in the distance. I laughed and shouted, This is amazing! The creatures waved at me from below. After flying for a while, the creatures said, It is time to go back to your world. I felt a little sad, but I waved goodbye to my new friends. Suddenly, I slowly woke up. I was back in my classroom. My head fell on the desk. The teacher, Mr. Smith, was standing in front of me. He said, Wake up! You are sleeping again. I laughed and said, It was a very funny dream. I looked around and some of my friends were laughing too. They said, You were snoring very loudly. I felt embarrassed but also happy because my dream was amazing. From that day, I always try to stay awake in class. But sometimes, when I see candy, chocolate, or soft clouds, I think of that magical world again and smile. Thank you for listening to my funny and magical adventure. I hope you laughed and enjoyed it. See you in the next podcast.